Hello, and welcome to A Woman's Experience podcast where we are here going to have an amazing conversation. So, while we get ready for our special coach, I want you to share us out. I want you to let the people know that we are here. I want you to don't be stingy now. Share out this podcast because it's going to be amazing. I missed you guys. I know we have been going strong in the month of January. This is our first podcast for the month of February, and I'm so glad you are here. I am glad that you're here. Tonight, we're going to have a special topic where we are educating the community, educating the society, but we're going to have some fun too. We are going to do a raffle as well for our lovely ladies who participated in a challenge this week. So be sure to hit me with that hey Jay hey in the comments, and also be sure to share us out. Be sure to share. I'm going to go ahead because I don't want to hold Coach Anissa up. I want to come on and bring her in because we have a lot to talk about. It's going to be so good tonight. So Coach Anissa, please come in the room. Come join me in the room. Hey.
Hey guys. Hey Women's Experience family. Hey Janisa. Hey Coach Jay. How you doing? Thanks for having me.
Welcome today. I'm so glad you was able. So for those of you who have been following and being true to the tribe, yeah, Coach Anissa is here, and this is not a replay. We are not talking about what we talked about before. She's just, multi-talented in that area. We are talking about doulas. Coach Anissa is a doula, and we're going to educate the community tonight and share and just let you know what a doula is, why a doula is important, and what the doula offers, okay? So hello, Mika Campbell. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Say hello to Coach Anissa as well, you guys. Give her some love, show her some love. Drop those hearts in the comments. Show love. If you are watching from YouTube, snatch up that link. Yeah, and share it out. And if you're watching from Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, no matter where you are, be sure to share it out. This is going to be a great podcast tonight. Great podcast tonight. I want to go ahead and say, listen, let's talk about it because this is something that I've been wanting to talk about. Like I've been really excited about talking about it. I love what the doula brings. Whoever created having doulas, I appreciate them. Cause listen, kudos to the doulas. Kudos to the doulas. We have Ariel here. She is locked in YouTube. Hey Ariel. Yeah, I said it right. Hello, Ariel. Thank you for joining us tonight. And then Mika Campbell says, hello, Coach Anissa.
Hey, Mika. Hey, Ariel.
Hey. So, Coach Anissa.
Yes.
What is a doula?
Yeah, a doula is a specialist. They are a emotional and physical support person for someone who's giving birth. A birthing person is what we have to call it because it's no longer, it's anyone it's not just exclusive to people who identify as women. It's anyone with a womb who's able to give birth. And a doula is a support and emotional support and physical support person in the room before birth, during the pregnancy experience, and also postpartum. And they just offer support, the additional support that is needed for a birthing person during that incredible time.
I think that's awesome. I have 6 babies.
Woo!
Right? And
hooray.
Yeah, I have 6 babies.
Amazing.
And so I've had great, the nurses that was there. I can't say there was great nurses that was there during my pregnancies, but I promise you, I wish I would have known about doulas when I was going through my pregnancies, because for one, especially with the first child, it's fearful because you don't know. You go grab the books, and the books, if you read the books, you just like, could this happen to me? Type of thing. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to feel. Every feeling that feel like pain, you think it's contractions. You think so. You not knowing exactly what to expect, what you're experiencing. And so a doula would have been able, with that support, would have been great. I just would have been appreciative, so appreciative of that. So what made you become a doula, Coach Lisa?
Yeah. So I mean, I've worked in the medical field for a while. Women's health, not so much, but really my best friend got pregnant, and she's Puerto Rican, and we live in New York City. She wanted to give birth in New York, and I just knew that it was a very dangerous place, New York City, Brooklyn, Queens, for a woman of color to give birth, for many reasons. And that alone kind of told me, I told her, I'm going to be your doula. We're going to have a safe pregnancy. And that's just what's going to happen. There's
right.
no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I
why do you say, I'm sorry, why do you say it's dangerous? Because I'm sure the reason you saying that it's dangerous there is dangerous in just not just that area, but other places as well. For whatever, why would you say it's dangerous for a woman of color?
Yeah, that's really what it boils down to, and it's universal. There is this stigma, and that women of color are stronger physically, and so therefore the pain that we experience isn't always taken seriously. There are many cases of women of color, Black women, who tell their doctors and their nurses, I am in pain, I need medication, I need additional support, and they're just brushed off in a different way than a woman who's color, a white woman, would be treated. And that happens to be a fact. I mentioned New York because I know that is statistically the situation here. And hopefully a bunch of, that's my grandmother's name, Mary. Hey. A bunch of, again, I'm sorry, that it's my grandmother's first and last name.
What?
Yeah. So that just really threw me off a little bit.
Grandma's supporting tonight? Yeah, you know what? When you looked at the name, you was like, wait.
Sorry about that. Hey, Grandma. Not OMG, hey. It's definitely, but okay. Anyway. No, so what I was saying was it is a serious topic and a serious subject. And I'm talking about New York because I just happen to know the statistics in this city. There's a lot of people, a lot of situations happening, and not enough doctors and nurses per birth. So therefore, here there are deaths happening. There are women who are losing their babies during the process. And again, like you said, it's definitely universal.
Yeah. I just think of just like a small situation that I experienced, like where, you going in labor, you have this one doctor that you have seen majority of your pregnancy, but then when it's getting close to your pregnancy, they start rotating you to see all the doctors that are in that building. And so then you just like, I know with me, I didn't like it, because if I am now trusting this one provider who I have seen majority of the pregnancy, and then at the end you're rotating me, and these people don't know me. So, and that goes with what you're saying, like they're disregarding what you're saying because they have not been on that journey with you. And so I get where, and that's why I feel like it's so important to have a doula, because if you have that journey with your doula, she's there or he is there, whoever you are trusting, who you say that is your doula support, your support person, they can go on that journey with you, and get you through that, because I didn't like it. And even when I went in birth a couple times, the provider that I trusted was not there, and I had to wait on the on-call provider who may have, although they was on call, they was playing golf somewhere, and you had to wait. So you had to work based and trust the strength of the amazing nurses to come check on you, to be there, and hopefully, and they're telling, they're communicating to the provider, look, you need to hurry up. Like, she is, ready to go. Let's see. Ariel says, ain't that the damn truth? Let's see what Mary says. She said, I was told they send you to different doctors towards the end of the pregnancy to show you different opinions. I don't need that. Right. I need the opinion of the provider who has been seeing me, who I trust, because I'm trusting this person. So here we go. You pick your provider. You go to, there's different OBGYNs out here. And so you go to an OBGYN that you trust. So then when you are with one provider, why are you switching me to a different provider? But then that's when I feel like, like you said, lack of staffing, all that lack of that is where I feel like the support is so much more important with the doula. Ariel says, don't want a random doctor. Right. Although you have to trust that, they're in this field, they know what they're supposed to know, but I don't want a random. I believe I don't want a random. Ariel says, I waited for my doctor to come in before I gave birth. Made sure I went in on the day. She wanted me there before they gave me a random. Ariel, what type of control is that? Why did you tell that baby to say, nope, our doctor ain't here? You already said to the baby before she got here. So I definitely understand what you're saying about that, as far as, the importance of it and how dangerous it is, because, we have people who go and they just don't know what to expect. Doulas are definitely the past coming back to save us. Let me see what you do. Coach Janisa, you understand what Mary is saying?
Not quite. Coming back to Save Us, it's a practice. I guess they may be talking about a practice that used to happen. I don't know.
Where my mom was thinking back in the day, it wasn't really that you went to a doctor. You had, the village or the community, that seasoned woman came and rallying, and they came and support her and help. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what Mary is saying. Mary, let us know.
I think so too. Huh? I think so too.
Yeah.
I believe that is what doula means.
Huh?
I think that is what doula means. Wait, let me look up the direct translation.
Okay.
Because I know the practice does come from the idea of, women being around to support other women.
Okay, that's what I definitely meant.
Oh, okay.
that support is amazing, because another woman is going to be able to tell you, and I ain't saying that doulas are only women, but I'm saying that she knows, she can tell you every pregnancy is different. She can tell you, what are you feeling? Oh, okay. She knows those pressure spots to help you with. She knows all of those things. And that's what's so amazing about doulas. I cannot stress how amazing doulas are. And, and Coach Anissa, tell us why it's so important for the woman to understand, this is something that she should, possibly invest in, or even if her checking, making sure her insurance possibly covers. Let's see, Ariel. She said, I actually did have a doula. I should have led with that. This was my first baby, and I saw a lot of women losing their lives in labor, and I was terrified, but my doula was there from the start. That's awesome. That's awesome, Ariel.
That's amazing. A doula is also an advocate. I was talking about having her first child. That's also a big thing. If you don't have, or even if you do have other women in your life, to be able to have someone who's also an advocate for you.
Yeah.
You're not going to know everything. Like you said, you're reading the books, but you're also pregnant. So there's so much going on. You're trying to focus, but you're also trying to experience this unique, incredible, life-changing happening, and so it's hard to remember everything. Pregnancy brain is a thing.
Yeah.
We're talking
right now. Right. What is my name? What day is it?
We're talking as little as someone being able to say, make sure you have everything in your baby bag, that you need, and it's important. And if you want to give birth in a hospital, especially you're talking about these rotations, be able to have a doula talk to these doctors and say to every single team, we have a plan. She has a plan. That is a huge part of doulaship, being an advocate for the birthing person. That there is, it happens. That's happened to me. A resident has walked in, in the middle of the night because she's on, this is her new shift, and she's popping in. She just happened to be a woman. I'm saying she popped in and was like, okay, so we're going to do this, that, and the third, and the birthing person I was supporting, she was like, that's not my plan. And, in the time, she's trying to experience what's happening. She's unable to have that back and forth. It's just going to come out a little bit differently coming from, a birthing person. So as a doula, I'm able to, step aside, bring the team to the side and explain, listen, she's not comfortable doing that, and need to figure something out so that she's comfortable, because that's the most important part of this process. Giving birth, Coach Jay, you've done it 6 times. Giving birth is no easy feat, and you need to be in your best mindset during that time.
No. I mean, it was even situations that I can give an example of as I learned going on was, in the hospital, you are told to lay on your back or lay on your side. Lay on your back or lay on your side. And that's it was not just not comfortable. It wasn't until I started following the movement of the doula that I knew there are so many more positions that you can be in to even give birth and it be comfortable to you. And it's not that you have to do what you're told. The only thing they may say, oh, no, you got IV, you can't walk around. But sometimes certain situations in the hospital can prolong labor versus the doula saying, no, this is what she needs. Because they are going to advocate and make sure for you. Let's go to these comments because they are popping in. The practice was commonplace once upon a time. Western society told us what traditional meant, traditional childbirth. Yep. Let's see. I'm going, wait, hold on. Ariel says, she came to my appointments and she was there at the hospital when it was time to go. She spoke up for me when they tried to give me another doctor, and I was very adamant about not having a different one. So did they accommodate that, Ariel, when you let them know that is not what you want to do because you spoke up for yourself? Listen, look at this one. She said, you a doula and a sleep? Yes, she is. Married. Yes, she is. She knows what to do. Give you peace in multiple ways.
Right. I just happen to fall into places where I need to be,
Yeah. So my other question is, so you have the doula, and then another thing I experienced with childbirth was postpartum. Um, I didn't have it with my first two kids, but postpartum set in on me on my third child. And when I say it was strong, it was definitely strong. It was so strong with my third child that they then considered me high risk for my other children after then, instead of giving me, uh, like coping or figuring out what was the trigger or those type of things. They just try to put me on medication, which I've had my thoughts about that since then. But postpartum was really something for me, and our doulas support even after like having a child or children. Do doula offer services where they are available after childbirth and not just prior and during the childbirth?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. So I'm what's considered a birth doula, and there's something called a postpartum doula, because that's, like you said, it's a completely different situation. That it requires a completely different level of support. So postpartum doulas are very much real and very much necessary. And so did you ever end up getting that support?
I wound up taking myself to a clinic to get support, because at that point I had to. I was at a very dark place. I wasn't taking care of the kids. I was just sitting, just like the extreme was I was sitting in one spot all day long. I breastfed, so it was hard to breastfeed. It was hard for my milk to come in. So I struggled terribly and did not know why. I absolutely did not know why, what was going on. I just knew I couldn't move. My biggest thing was I was stuck. And it was like I took myself away from just, I just had this beautiful baby. I have two other babies. It was just stuck. And I couldn't get out of that place. And so that's why I asked, was it something available where doulas are? Because that support system, you may have friends or people around you who never experienced that after childbirth, or they experienced it and they handled it a different way, and they thinking that that's how you should handle your postpartum, which just was not. I learned quickly that every pregnancy was absolutely different. But I did get the support that I needed, which I'm grateful for. But I felt like me and who I am, I would appreciate a doula helping me get through that process versus just going to a clinic saying, hey, something wrong with me and I can't really tell you what it is because I don't know what it is, but something wrong.
Yeah. That's a very real experience, and becoming a doula, there's a lot of required reading. I'm still, working towards my certification, because that's another thing. A certified doula, you can use your insurance with, and that's, another thing. Lactation specialists, there's a lot of education, a lot of certification that's happening currently, because people are realizing how important it is to have a doula, to have that available support. We're talking about understaffing. It's even harder in this doula world because, we're not necessarily a medical professional in this world. We're everything but that. A doula is not supposed to be super physical. We'll give you a massage, we'll tell you what to do, position wise. So, it's hard to find a doula. It's hard when they are available. Doulas are working as their own selves. They have different types of packages, So, I'm glad you were able to get the support, but a lot of people, as you said, don't even know that doulas exist, and they're not told by the hospitals or anything.
Yeah. Let me go to the comments really quick. So we have Ariel. She says they did. So she's answering the question as far as was she able to keep her provider? And she said they did allow her to keep her provider. They knew I was there to see. They knew who I was there to see and made sure she was the one that took care of me. You know, when you're giving birth, you say a lot of of mean things, or maybe it was just me. No, I will say I did say some things that pain caused me to be real reckless, but um, Afrida, Afrida
Word.
looked at did I say it right?
Yes.
She said, I'm just here to say go, Anissa, go, and Will rounded Tyler. Absolutely. That's why I got her up here sharing the knowledge. She is up here sharing the knowledge tonight. I appreciate her. Thank you, Miss Lucas.
We appreciate you.
And Mary says, there are women who have hospital anxiety. How does one get recommended to a doula as opposed to a hospital? I feel like these services need to become more advertised. Absolutely, Mary. Absolutely. So, could you answer that for us, Coach Anissa?
Yeah. So, I mean, a doula is not to replace, again, a doula is not a medical professional. So, if you're not going in a hospital, there still needs to be a midwife, which is a nurse who specializes in childbirth, or even a doctor if you have an OBG who does house visits. So, it's a separate thing. To get recommended from a hospital, I think you would have to do research right now, unfortunately. There are a lot of forums where there are doulas who have their information out there, but I would just say Googling doula in my neighborhood, in my area, my city, and oftentimes we're willing to travel. Most of the communication during the pregnancy experience is over the phone. They should and need to be more advertised, but that's why we're having this conversation, right?
Absolutely. I do know it's definitely something that you have to do your research on. I didn't know until I intentionally looked into it myself. And then sometimes when you research it, then you just be like, the community is a little bit bigger than what we thought, but it's not going to be visible. I feel like the hospital providers, they're not going to say, hey, we have doulas. The type, you may want to reach out to a doula for extra support, because I feel like a lot of times they want you to just get whatever support they want to offer you, where they can charge on your insurance or out of your pocket. So I do feel like it would be something that you would have to research. I do know of one insurance. You had to be in a certain area, like Medicaid. It offered you to have a doula during your pregnancy, but it was a specific Medicaid, and so. But that's if the person has Medicaid. You would have to reach out to your insurance provider, I think, just to see if they cover it. But otherwise, if they don't, we are here saying it's worth the investment, because that doula, she is a doula for a reason. Coach Anissa is a doula for a reason. And so they are going to definitely make sure that you are okay and you are supported and you are healthy and you are happy and you are at peace, because they're going to be looking for the best interest of the baby and you. And it's definitely worth the investment. Don't you think so? Of course you do, Coach.
I also want to talk about hospital anxiety too, because there are other options. You don't have to give birth in a hospital. There's options for you to give birth at home, a home birth, and then there are birthing centers where they are midwives and doulas. Again, you have to really do your research, but they're located all over the country, at least in America that I know of. A birthing center where you can give birth. There's a support system of doulas, again, midwives, in a very comfortable setting where there's little to no hospital vibe. Ooh, that's a great question.
Can you pay for a doula with FSA? Now, if I'm not sure what FSA is.
Yeah, a flexible savings account. So that's like a little extra cash that you get with your employer. If there's a Visa number on that, which it usually
Right.
is, which you usually FSA or HSA, there's usually some sort of card number. And yeah, you can do a secure transfer if you can hook that up. A lot of doulas take PayPal, Cash App. We're hustling out here, Zelle. So if there's an account that you can transfer money to, definitely.
Absolutely. We have another question. How safe is a water birth? How safe are water births?
Wow. I mean, I might be a little biased. Um, we're talking about a situation where the baby is going from encased in water, entering life in water. That's kind of like ideal, in my opinion. But they can be done safely with the right team. I wouldn't recommend trying that on your own. If you're pregnant, don't try to give birth in your bathtub by yourself. That's definitely not what a water birth is.
Absolutely.
Is a situation where, more again, there are midwives and doulas present. They have monitors at your home or in a birthing center, wherever you're doing this water birth. And they have monitors on the baby, and they're watching, making sure the baby's okay and that the baby's safe to give birth in water. That's a really big, big deal. And that's what makes water birth safe, for the right team.
Yeah. Yeah. I just feel like it's just so important to have a doula.
Yeah.
I really feel like it's so important to have a doula. And I just don't think the community know. I think they just know to just go, I'm pregnant, set the appointment, let's go. That's it. That's all. Go through the steps, go through whatever they tell me to do. But there's resources out here. I cannot stress enough the resources. Hello, Natasha. Hello, how are you? Welcome, welcome. Tonight we're talking about doulas. So, is there anything else you would love to share tonight about what you do and the importance of it? Is there any facts that we need to know, or things like myths that you think people think about doulas, or what else would you share with us tonight?
That's a good question. I had told when I became a doula, I told a colleague of mine that I became a doula, and her first question to me was, "Oh my gosh, what is that? Is that some sort of witchcraft?" That's exactly what came out of her mouth.
No.
And you know what? I understand there's a stigma where people hear doula and they think of this like jaded, eerie old woman, who's kind of bossy with a big old bag. That's not the case. A doula is a support person. Doula doesn't have to be a woman, and what I do, it's important because I've morphed into this women's health professional, and being a doula is a part of this. Women's health is huge. Giving birth is the most unique experience for a woman, a birthing person, and we deserve that level of support. So it's a beautiful thing to have, an investment to be made, but doulas will work with you. We're talking about a situation where someone is there maybe like 3 months before you give birth, there during the birth, and maybe 3 months after, or more or better. Like, it's worth it for you to be able to have that safe, happy experience. And then birth is something you're never going to forget. Coach Jay, you've had 6 babies, but you remember every single situation.
It is so very unique. So, like you said, you couldn't have said it even better, how to have someone there through that unique process, because they're so unique. The first one was a little extended because it was the first baby, not knowing what to expect. The second one went pretty fast. As far as the labor, 3 pushes and he was out. The second, yeah. But then my third baby, I was dehydrated a lot with him, and so I was in not knowing that. I thought I was about to go in labor early, but really they was just like, you being dehydrated can cause you to go into labor early. I thought I was drinking enough water, wasn't drinking enough water. I don't know I didn't experience that with my other pregnancy.
Oh, gosh. Coach Jay, we lost you.
Yep. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. I was
Yes,
just making
there you
sure.
go.
So when I was drinking the water and had those pains again, it was just, I then went in labor 30 minutes. I had the baby 30 minutes after getting out of the getting to the hospital. And so if I would have known, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm just thinking I was dehydrated again. So I was just home drinking water, not knowing that I was in truly labor. So a doula would have helped with that. And then they all were very, very unique pregnancies. So that's why I say it's so important. And it's important that women don't compare another woman's pregnancy to them. Because your body is unique. You are, as they say, amazing, uniquely made. No one has your fingerprint. So you can't really compare your pregnancy or your body to what another one experiences. Even the books can't. They tell you general, this is what happened with a huge number, but it's still not your story. So that's why I just feel like it's so important. So important. Someone says, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing.
Of course.
Someone says, DJ, that's my little sis. Oh,
that's my brother, DJ Fresh One. Yes, DJ in New York. Hit him up.
So I truly understand, and I can appreciate. I can truly appreciate having a doula. I just cannot stress enough. If we was playing a game of how many times Coach Jay could say doula tonight, y'all probably. I just really feel like it's really, really, really important. Really important. Is there anything else you can share with us tonight?
I mean, I can go on and on.
Okay, give it to us. We got just a few more. Something that you would like for us to leave us with something with, and that you feel like we just need to know that we haven't touched.
Yes, I mean, I just want to revisit postpartum doula and just how important that is, because it's also about the birthing person's connection to their child. You know, when you're experiencing postpartum depression and you're not, a lot happens, you know, and you touched on it, and thank you for sharing. But, you know, I just want to stress that doula-ship is so important for all birthing people. And if you know anyone who's pregnant right now, encourage them to get a doula. That's my Instagram down there. Let them hit me up. At the very least, you know, we can communicate. You know, this COVID climate has changed a lot of things. You know, so support looks a little bit different. You know, we can do a lot of virtual support now too. So, you know, feel free to reach out to me, or, you know, look in your area. Anissa NYC, ANYSSA NYC.
I definitely appreciate you coming. You guys show Coach Anissa love. I appreciate her. Oh, wait, let me make sure. I'm going to show that, but you know.
We're West Indian.
For your experience, what has been the most challenging predicament you have been in?
The most challenging for me or for Coach Jay?
The most I can speak for as pregnancy wise. My most challenging predicament I have been in. I would actually say it's been when I was pregnant with my twins. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it was scary for
Mm.
me because, and they were my last. So it was
Wow.
scary for me because everybody else came one at a time.
Yeah.
So I just had so many questions. I had, are they in the same sack? Or, could they be conjoined? I was scared about
Mm.
those type of things.
Yes.
And so were they positioned right where I would be able to push? Because I gave birth to my other children naturally. So I was fearful that I would have to have had a cesarean with the twins, or those type of things. They were head down, but I had one who was straight down, and one was like she held her sister, so she was at an angle the whole time. So it was it was a little challenging for me because then when giving birth, yeah, she said it was for you. She said when giving
Mm.
birth, it was, will twin B flip around and be, feet first after twin A, decides to come out. So that was the most scary situation for me. But I got through it. But then that's another situation, an example of if I would have had a doula.
Yeah.
That would have, kept down on me being fearful. So she was like, "Yeah, it's for you." But then she said, "Well, both." So I'm okay. So, Coach, it's your-
Yeah, no, thank you for sharing that. And that actually makes me think of experiences where women have a birth plan to give birth naturally, and they do end up having to have an emergency cesarean. In
Mhm.
that term, emergency cesarean, we're talking about a situation where you don't expect it. What does this mean? Am I being cut? A lot of panic happens, and as a doula, you really have to kind of you know alleviate the situation by explaining why it's a safer option, because
Yeah,
usually there's a reason why there needs to be an emergency C-section. And then you also have situations where the doctor, you talked about positioning too, like there are doctors who are only experienced to like help women give birth in a certain position, or there are
yeah,
doctors who don't know what to do if a woman is turned and her legs are up, so they'll tell
yeah.
them to lay on their back, and like you said, it's uncomfortable, and so we're talking about trying to communicate that without having an argument with the doctor. And that's
Yeah.
another reason why doulas have stigmas, because they think, well, doula means the opposite, a combative to the doctor. And we're not trying to
No.
be angry or combat or, have an argument with anybody. We are the advocate of the birthing person. And if they're telling you they need something done this way, we have to do it that way, or we have to
Yeah,
come to a common ground where we can do this in the safest and healthiest way for both
absolutely,
mommy and baby.
absolutely. And I think that would be falling up under the myth where a lot of people think it's either doula or no,
Right.
they are there as support. Support is the biggest thing. And to be honest, I think that's where I thought in the beginning, like, so a doula gonna give birth to my, help me give birth to my baby, but that is farthest from the truth. There are
Right.
shows out here who shows great doulas on like reality or TV shows, and then also do your research and communicate. Do your research and don't just assume, because we all know internet can give some inaccurate information. But if you do your research and reach out to a doula or Coach Anissa, make sure you hold a conversation with them so that they can give you the information that you need versus you just going with whatever you possibly read or what somebody's negative opinion is about it.
Yeah.
She said, Ms. Lucas says, what words of advice do you offer to parents who are going through the preliminary stage of carrier screening? The process of waiting for results is very anxiety inducing.
Yeah, we're talking about genetic disorders. I'm assuming you mean what happens when a parent finds out that are you talking about just the initial test where we're waiting to see if there's a genetic disorder, or after they actually know that their baby has a genetic disorder? But either way, with both, to be able to just alleviate the situation, if it's just a test, just to get it out of the way, and there's a low risk, that's a little bit different. But I mean, if there's a high risk and you want to have the baby, there's the real conversations that have to happen. How early on? What kind of conversation are we really having? Is there an adoption option if you think it's too much, if the child does come out with a difficult disorder? It's these conversations are hard. I mean, it's not so much advice, because I'm not really supposed to give advice. I'm really just supposed to support. Gotcha. So I mean, it's just a conversation that's going to happen.
Gotcha.
And we'll just figure things out from there, and I'll be there to talk to you through it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Coach Anissa, for joining me tonight. I will, hey, as many times as you are willing to come on, I will have you on if you're willing. I appreciate you sharing and just helping to educate the society, our Women's Experience Tribe. I appreciate you. You guys show her love in the comments, and then reach out to her. Her IG is going across the bottom of the screen. So make sure you connect if you have any more questions. Oh, wait. She did. You did give the feedback for both sides, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we did.
So Mika says, help the ladies. So that's definitely what we hope this podcast was able to give you tonight. We are appreciative of each and every one of you. I appreciate you so much. I want to say it is hard to find the resources in our community for things that we can do where it's natural and not automatically given a prescription. There are remedies that we can do naturally. So I definitely appreciate the fact that you said, oh, this is my purpose, to educate and do and be and all of this. And I appreciate you sharing because that's what it takes. It takes a community of women to step up and just be like, hey, listen, sis, nope, we're not doing that. This is what we can do. And if we have to go this route, okay, so be it. But right now, we're going to do this first, because as Miss Mary said prior to, we're going back in a day of how it used to be. And so they didn't always have the syringe or the, this or that or this. There was things that they done naturally that was from the earth that was so much more healthier to help the woman. And so I would even say, like, with the pandemic, it's definitely had me in a place of, I need to start a garden and I need to go get me some chickens. It's definitely had me in that place. And I'm probably definitely going to tap into that place. But I get it, because, it's here for us for a reason. Why did we step away from it? I think that's what the pandemic has showed me the most. Like, why did we step away from the natural thing? Is it because we wanted the convenience of what the non-natural thing is supposed to offer us, or what? But this pandemic definitely has showed that it's very preach. I'm not preaching, but that's just what I just feel. But I appreciate the community that has stepped up to say, nope. Let me tell you. Let me show you. Let me find somebody who can tell you and show you. I'm grateful for that. So, Coach Anissa, thank you so very much. There's some other things that I want to share with the ladies, so you can sit with me if you like. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Listen, ladies. Okay. So this week I did a little challenge for some ladies to drop some information. All you had to do, if you are on my Facebook social media, all you had to do is drop your email and get added to my subscriber list. And I was going to add you to a raffle. I am doing a self-care box that is going to be offered. I want to say in March. Is going to be so much love into that box, but I want to offer it to the ladies who participated tonight to be able to win a box. So what we doing? Here's my raffle wheel. Y'all see the wheel? The ladies' names is on the wheel. I'm about to spin. Y'all hear that?
Woo.
Okay. So our winner is Erica McGee. You are the winner of our self-care box that is going to be launching really soon in March. But listen, just because she got it for free, that doesn't mean you guys cannot partake. You'll be able to purchase our self-care boxes in March. They will be available on the website. And I told an announcement live. I was like, so your girl been kind of quiet, but she about to pop out. So you guys get ready. I got some great things that is coming. I also have a webinar that is coming on February 17th. The webinar is titled "You Do You and Don't Apologize for It." You have to register on the website in order to be able to get on this webinar. It will not be a Facebook Live. I will drop that link in the comments so that you can register, so that you can participate. It's free. Let me just say that. Register. It's a free webinar that I am sharing, but you do have to tap in order to. Thank you, Miss Lucas. She said, "Yeah, get excited." Well, but you do have to register in order to be able to get into that webinar. All right. Also, while you're on that link, right, we are having our third annual event, our third annual We Soiree is going down in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Vendors, if you are someone who has a product or you have a business and you want to be in the room, it's going down. You can lock in now. All you have to do is go to the website. If you are a sponsor, you want to come to the event, but you don't want to sell your product, but you still want those many ladies at the event to know who you are and what you have, you can be a sponsor. I am doing booklets as well. You don't have to be local to be present. We are doing virtual tickets. So that link I dropped in the comments, tap in, get in the room for the soiree, or go ahead and register. Either register for the webinar is going down. The things I say in my webinars and in my coaching, I don't say on this platform, okay? So you get a different version of Coach Jay. I promise you. It's a good version, but you get a different version of Coach Jay in our sessions and on the webinar. So you want to tap in with that, because I don't censor. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all already going to the link. I don't censor anything in those webinars and our coaching session. I appreciate you guys for joining tonight, taking out the time to spend time with me and Coach Anissa. She is amazing. Follow her on IG. Make your presence known. That's my friend says. She always say, "I ain't coming before you long, but I came to make my presence known," type of thing. So be sure. Ain't it cute? She says it all the time. But but make sure you follow Coach Anissa. I cannot say how much I appreciate you. I appreciate our connection. I believe in the divine connections you have shown, giving me knowledge as far as, hey, you the sleep coach, telling me how to get my good sleep habits. And you also have gave information to our ladies in our community, letting them know. So this is me giving you your flowers, saying I appreciate you. Keep doing what you do because you are amazing, amazing.
Thank you, Coach Jay.
Definitely forever be in touch with
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much. You're amazing. Thank you so much for having this platform. I mean, not just me, all of us appreciate you for it.
That's
Thank
how I
you.
love you, baby. Thank you. You guys, we will see you really, really soon. We have another podcast. Oh, look, Miss Mary said, yes, she is. You are amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So, thank you guys for joining us. We will be back here. Yeah, just look for. I don't want to say the wrong day, but it's the third Monday back here for Girl Talk. Make sure you join us for Girl Talk with Coach Tanisha. It's going down. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. See you guys really, really soon.